Hey, Caitlin! Can you make us some there?
The 42-second Caitlin Clark commercial that Nike recently released is going viral. Headlines with millions of views worldwide. There is an enormous amount of hype. However, A'ja Wilson is on the opposite side of the spotlight as the internet is going crazy over Clark's iconic shoes. Frustrated, disregarded, and observing as the rookie sensation rules both the sneaker game and the court. She's not taking it lightly, I assure you. Do you believe Nike has finally identified their biggest star? What implications does this have for A'ja Wilson? Caitlin Clark's first solo ad since joining the WNBA was finally published by Nike, and the outcome is exactly what you would expect from the WNBA's face. Nike's action is more than just another brand partnership. It seems to be a loud, unmistakable indication that they may have finally realized they were funding the wrong side of the league all along. And this must hurt if you're a fan of A'ja Wilson.
Here with you guys today, Nike finally delivered.
On May 6, 2025, Nike debuted A'ja Wilson's signature sneaker, the Nike A1, in a pink aura shade. It was stated that the first shoe release sold out in 5 minutes due to its strong sales. The $110 original price was more than doubled by resale prices on sites like eBay and StockX, which varied from $230 to $300, indicating a very active aftermarket. It was initially all that A'ja Wilson had hoped for. In less than 5 minutes, the pink aura colorway was gone from the stores. An important occasion for women's basketball in general as well as for her career. This is where things start to become pretty interesting. Nike didn't simply put A'ja Wilson's name on a shoe and call it a day. They gave it their all. They collaborated closely with her for 2 full years to create the Nike A1. It wasn't hurried. They treated her like a VIP. A'ja had complete creative control, choosing the materials by hand, creating the design, and ensuring that the shoe conveyed her message. She received personalized logos. The details included hidden messages. The pink aura coloring was more than just a showpiece. It had significance. That sneaker's curves and stitches were all deliberate. What's going on, everyone? A'ja Wilson from the Las Vegas Aces is here. I obviously had too. I had a great time in Georgia during my retirement party, but my purpose is to explore the A1. Knowing that I am a Nike signature athlete and that I own my first sneaker, the A1, feels kind of surreal, man. Correct. Make your eyes visible. Make your eyes visible. She briefly served as the face of WNBA merchandise, which is the league's main selling point. Interviews flooded in. Her shoes were being rocked by fans on the court. However, things began to change after that. The excitement subsided. Sales declined. Chatter on social media subsided. And Nike released a dazzling new advertisement just as the focus was starting to wane. This time, it is for Caitlin Clark rather than A'ja. The story abruptly shifted. There was a lot of enthusiasm for Clark's shoe campaign, influencer support, and an internet backlash that quickly eclipsed the A1's advantages. It seemed as though someone else was receiving what had previously been A'ja's moment. As well as fat. The most absurd aspect was that Nike didn't even produce a shoe specifically designed for Caitlin Clark. Caitlin appears in the commercial for this limited edition Kobe 5 Pro PE in midnight navy, vivid crimson, and university gold. However, the excitement was unbelievable. On Monday, June 29th, Nike Basketball's X account released the 40-second promo for the new sneakers. Within minutes, it went viral on YouTube and Instagram. Caitlin Clark is seen tying her sneakers at the beginning of the advertisement. Composed, concentrated, and locked in. However, the camera pans in on her eyes as she tightens the laces. They shift, slit, and glow yellow in an instant. It hits forcefully, yet you miss the shot because it's a blink. An homage to the famous Black Mamba persona of Kobe Bryant.
And she knows how her privilege has gotten her to that point, and also like she's good at basketball, obviously. But like she understands her.
And it was obvious that everyone was watching because the shoes were sold out on Nike's website in less than a minute. Yes, in less than a minute. It was an obvious moment that conveyed a message. Caitlin Clark is the needle, not simply the one moving it. As anticipated, secondary markets erupted right away, with resale prices rising from $300 to $600. a startling increase from the initial cost, which was in the 190s at launch. A.J. Wilson sneakers have remained undisturbed on the shelf since their launch, gradually making their way to the clearance area. Prior to Caitlin's arrival, Nike made every effort their next big talent is A.J. Wilson. They gave her a $20 million annual deal and used creative advertising to help tell her underdog tale. However, the unfortunate reality for Asia is that Clark's natural contributions cannot be forced. Caitlin Clark got a huge $28 million endorsement contract with Nike right at the beginning of her WNBA career during her rookie season. A move that caused a lot of people to take notice. Legends and veterans of the WNBA questioned why a rookie was given such a large salary before she had even established herself in the league. However, all of that commotion subsided as soon as Clark put on those Nikes and took the court. Her game, her presence, and the immediate increase in ticket sales, viewership and sales told it all. She was a phenomenon, not simply a novice. Nike's gamble appeared to be a power move at the time rather than a risk. Nike made every effort to spoon-feed A.J. Wilson, but Clark was already well known from her time in college. She brought in an astounding $82 million for the city of Iowa. The 23-year-old child can move waves with just a basketball and a hoop. However, Nike failed to see raw potential when it was in front of them because they were too preoccupied with checking social justice boxes. Jordan Rogers, the former head of Nike basketball marketing, even publicly criticized Nike, claiming that they nearly allowed the golden goose slipped away. Instead of concentrating on Caitlin Clark, the true moneymaker, earlier, their stock fell to a 5-year low while they were preoccupied with trying to construct what was non-existent and A.J. Wilson.
From a very young age to just block out the noise and always dream big and believe that I can do anything I want to do. My name's Caitlin Clark, and I'm a point guard. What's amazing about women's basketball is that we bring it all to the court. We bring that emotion, we bring that fire. That's how I've always played the game, and I think that's what makes it so fun.
To make a difference, Wilson needs extensive campaigns, influencer rollouts, picture sessions, and PR tours. In the meantime, Clark posts a single picture, and all of a sudden, there is a virtual stampede of people waiting in line to purchase her outfit. And you know what's actually keeping AA alive? Nike has now acknowledged their error and is actively pursuing Clark. Without a question, Wilson's resume is incredibly polished on paper. However, it's Clark who has the crazy gravitational pull. The funniest thing about it all is that Caitlin Clark doesn't really care about being in the spotlight, in contrast to AA Wilson and her top dog mentality. Similar to the post-game media accessibility, Aaliyah Boston was there to make fun of Caitlin after she achieved her first triple-double in the WNBA against the Atlanta Dream. Caitlin, that's really awesome. And that's precisely what makes the whole thing so crazy. Clark is not pleading for people's attention. She is not asking the league to give in to her demands. She simply appears, gives a performance, and leaves jaws speechless. Nike, however, is unable to maintain its shoe inventory. Fans are showing up in record numbers, and social media can't stop raving about her. Thus, the glitzy promotional campaigns, brand alliances, press trips, watches, and the complete Nike rollout all take place from the sidelines when it involves AEL Wilson. It is painful. Not only do Clark's shoes perform far better than hers, but Caitlin didn't even attempt to make it happen. That's what has angered AA. The fact that the league's newest hero is effortlessly outperforming everyone. Without even trying to flex is more impressive than just the numbers or the buzz. A'ja Wilson has previously played the racism card and denigrated Caitlin Clark. She mentioned that Caitlin Clark had an advantage because of her white privilege during a conversation at the 2024 NCAA Women's Final Four. Now consider Wilson's feelings as she watches from the sidelines as the athlete she once disregarded turns into the face of Nike's whole women's basketball brand, not just the WNBA. Furthermore, it would be incorrect to characterize this as a social rivalry given the already circulating rumors of a full Clark signature series. The game has been totally dominated by Caitlin Clark. This most recent development could push AA over the over if she was already furious. AA Wilson and Caitlin Clark's Nike battle is a lot like what's going on in the WNBA right now. Things have absolutely collapsed when Caitlin hurt her groin during that game against the Seattle Storm. It seems like nobody is interested in women's basketball other than when Caitlin Clark is on the court simply to observe how awful it is. This week's 3 games total viewership is still less than Caitlin Clark's lowest viewership of the season. The Los Angeles Sparks vs. Chicago Sky game, which included Angel Reese, Clark's purported competitor, along with other celebrities like Kelsey Plum and Hailey Vanlith, only managed to get 20,000 people. The Los Angeles Sparks vs. Minnesota Lynx, which featured other well-known players like Kelsey Plum once more and Phi Sakir, who some claim is the best player in the league, only managed to get 20,000 spectators, making the situation much worse. Although Nafi Sakir truly plays wonderful basketball, it is evident that this does not result in a large number of viewers. The Connecticut Sun and AA Wilson's Las Vegas Aces follow, drawing a dismal 100,000 spectators. The total number of viewers for all 3 of these games is 560,000. The lowest number of viewers for Caitlin Clark this season is 580,000. It's absurd. And it was time for Nike to acknowledge this and treat Caitlin Clark like the VIP she so richly merits.